Okay, so we are recording to the cloud. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SharePoint training. If you are online, you can follow along, or if you're in person, either one, you're welcome to follow along. I would prefer at this point, if you choose to follow along and you miss a step, let's hold off on the questions just because I've only 30 minutes to do this short material. Excuse me, a lot of material, which is a very short time. If you don't get something, stick around after class and we can talk about it together. Okay, so additionally, I have created this tip sheet. It is about 8-9 pages or something, and it includes extensive screenshots and arrows and information boxes, everything. And I've emailed this out to all users. You should have received it maybe about a month ago now. I am going to follow along this. In my humble opinion, this is the basics. And if you get this, then you'll be in a good place. Okay. All right. So first things first, what is SharePoint? Okay, so SharePoint is on the internet. It's an internet-based cloud service, okay? Now, for those of you that didn't know, when you have been using Outlook on your computers as your email system, you also had access to apps such as Teams, such as Microsoft Word, such as Microsoft Excel. All of these programs belong to one company called Microsoft, and Microsoft offers those programs online. So you can access them using the internet. And the way that you do that is by, everyone online should see my internet. Can I throw me a thumbs up if you can see my internet? Okay, good. So you get there by Googling, simple Google, Microsoft 365 login. Once you do that, you'll be set. You can sign in with your Bayard Enterprises email, put in that winter is coming password, assuming you haven't changed it, but I'm sure you have. Big wink. And when you do that, you will see, go away. Rats. Okay, hold on. When you do that, you will either log in directly to your email or it will be another thing first. But in any case, you will see to the top, in the top left-hand corner, what's called a waffle. It is what my mouse is currently circling around. It's a 3x3 box, okay? This waffle is very similar to the waffle on your Gmail, except for the waffle on your Gmail is on the other side of the page. And what it does is, it is a drop-down. It's a simple drop-down that shows you all of the apps that you have access to. And SharePoint is one of them. You can also see Outlook is one, OneDrive, Excel, Teams. If you haven't been able to access Teams this whole time, well, guess what? There it is. You're totally able to open it from here. Hot tip, if you right-click on this or click with 2 fingers if you're using a laptop, you will be given the option to, whoops, I didn't do it right. You will be given the option to open it in a new tab so it doesn't get rid of what you're currently looking at. I did it wrong. I did the wrong finger. That's okay. But anyway, so for all intents and purposes, this is how you get to SharePoint, you guys. You can see it right under PowerPoint. Okay. So, similar to the share drive in which we're used to looking at a list of folders, SharePoint also has a list of folders, but it just appears slightly different. So to break it down for you, when you get into your SharePoint, this is your home page. And what you're seeing in this very top row of rectangles is what's called news. I doubt we're going to use it all that much, to be honest with you, but it's simply a place that people can post little announcements. Marisol, about a month ago, posted that paper leap applications are in her office, for instance. Okay, so if that's a feature that you feel like you might use, then just know that these are not folders. These are news articles. Where the folders are is where it says frequent sites. Everything that pops up down below where it says frequent sites on your homepage is a folder that you have access to. Okay, the difference between SharePoint and S Drive is, well, there are a lot, but one of the main differences is that you will not have access to every folder like we used to. In the share drive, everyone put all their stuff there and everyone could get into everyone's stuff. In SharePoint, You only have folders show up on your homepage if you have been invited to be a team member within that folder. So if I need to get into Source America stuff, then I need to email Mario and Chris O'Connor, and I need them to invite me or add me as a group member to their folder. And if and when they do that, I will then see under frequent sites, Source America. Okay, we're going to get into this a little bit further, but just know these are the folders right here. Okay, to get into a folder, you just double click on it. So I'm going to show you now. We're going to break down the Voc Rehab folder. I'm going to double click on it. And it will generate another kind of busy page that your eyes will be drawn to many different things. The very top, I'm going to just show you what you're looking at here, where my mouse is circling the words vocational rehab. That's the name of the folder that you're in. Okay. This, where you see all caps things, exciting news that we will see. This is again news. I added that bit of news. Where you see activity, these are the docs that I have most recently edited, me or anyone else on our team has recently edited. It's quite busy. And then to the very far right, you'll see there's the section that says documents. This is the meat and potatoes of the folder. And I'm going to tell you guys that I find all of this stuff on my homepage to be fairly distracting. It reminds me of Facebook, and I'm not a fan. So I immediately navigate out of this page by clicking this See All. It says See All on the right, to the right of the word documents. You guys can see my mouse circling that. When I click See All, it eliminates all that superfluous stuff that we really don't care about, and it just brings the folders to my face, which I love. So if you're anything like me, I encourage you to do that. Okay, so what are we looking at now? Now we're just in the folder view. It should look a lot more similar to what you're kind of used to seeing when you're looking at your files. This new button is important, and it does a couple of different things. When you click on this, you'll see that there's a drop down that appears. The folder button is how I would create a new folder within the Voc Rehab folder. And and right next to it, the upload button is how you can tell the computer to upload documents to SharePoint. And just as a reminder, upload is when you take files that live on your computer at the level of your computer and you bring them into the cloud. Okay, the cloud is the internet. That's called uploading. Downloading is taking something that lives in the cloud up in the internet and bringing it down to the level of your computer so it lives down in your computer. Okay, so if you have some files that you've been generating on your computer that do not live in SharePoint and would not be accessible, you know, from any computer in the world, then you're going to want to upload those files to SharePoint. Okay, you can upload an entire folder too. It's just kind of whatever you want to do. And I think you're going to be doing that a lot because she's been saving a lot of stuff on her computer. Okay, so shout out to Anna Kaminsky. I will draw your attention to this, where it says 9 members in the top right-hand corner. My mouse is right now circling it. There's this little icon of a human being. Right there, when you click on that, you will see who is allowed to visit this folder, who has access to it. In the span of all of these classes that I've taught, I've added some lucky people like Walter Mitty, like Sarah McCarthy. Let me show you how to add Mario, because I know he wants to be in on this. So right now, Mario's not able to get into my folder. He would not see this on the SharePoint homepage. If you wanted to be able to, all I would have to do is simply click the add member, start typing Mario, and then choose Mario Gomez. When I do that and hit save, he's now someone that's able to navigate within the Voc Rehab folder, and he will have that show up on his SharePoint homepage, okay? So just remember to add people. Let me add Anna right now too, because I feel like she needed access to something the other day, and maybe now she'll have it forever. Okay. One other thing I want to draw your attention to is how to edit things, or some of the features that exist within SharePoint that you might not have had prior to using an internet-based cloud server. And one would be that you can create and edit documents from within the browser, okay? And you do that by hitting that new button. There's a drop down that appears. Now you have the opportunity to make a document right now. And if I were to click Word document, I would essentially be creating a new Word document that's nestled right in my Voc Rehab folder. I'm going to do that and show you guys a couple different things. So when I click it, it opens up in a new tab. People online, just hold on a second. It takes a sec. Our internet's pretty bad back here. So this is a document that we have now just created, and we can now start editing and making changes to. I will show you how to rename this document. My mouse is now circling around the word document in the top left-hand corner. If I were to click on that, give it a second, I can name the document whatever I would like. This is going to be our test document. Or hold on. It's kind of slow. Hold on. It will be renamed at some point in the future. Something. Okay, let's try it again. I just start typing test. You will see that instead of document, it now says test. Okay, so I've just created a document named test that lives in my Voc Rehab folder. If you guys are used to editing via the regular program, Microsoft Word program, this might be fairly frustrating for you to have to edit within the internet, because if you will notice, there are a lot of buttons that are missing. And if you're just making some canned letter that has very little formatting needs, then that is probably fine for you. However, you can also open a document in the desktop app, which you can do by hitting this button that's straight in the middle here, where it says editing. By clicking that, a drop-down appears and you will see open in desktop app. I will not do that because the internet's too slow to support that. But when you do that, you'll see that it just pops open in the way that you're more familiar with in the regular Microsoft Word program. Have all the correct tools, but it will still be living in SharePoint in the same place. Okay, it's still connected to the internet. And one good thing to remember is, unlike normal Microsoft Word programs or Excel programs, online SharePoint versions of these documents and these files are automatically saved. So when you are working in a document on the internet, you'll notice that there's no floppy disk or save button. Likewise, when you open up documents using the desktop app, there is also no floppy disk or save button. And that is because that is one of the main features of using an online internet-based cloud system, so it automatically saves for you. Okay. I'm going to close this out now, and you guys will see when I close this tab that there is a new document right here named test.docx that now lives in my Voc Rehab folder. So it's an automatic thing. It's automatic. Now, another cool feature about using SharePoint from the online version is that it has these 3 dots next to every single folder and every single file within the system. When you hit these 3 dots, it's another drop-down menu, and it has all of the basic commands. But one that I tend to use a lot, and I think you guys should know about too, is the copy to command. What this is useful for is for like case managers like us who have to use intake templates and case note templates and things of that sort. And we're so used to opening it up, making that change and forgetting to save as, and you mess up your whole template. This is a much simpler way to remember not to mess up your template. If you just click the 3 dots and hit copy to, you can choose which folder you can copy this document to, and it's just slightly easier to remember than save as. So do use that. I know, Mark, I'm messing with you because I skipped around a little, but I've taught this class so many times, I felt like the way I did it now was just better, made better sense. Great. So that's how to create and edit docs on SharePoint. I'm going to show you something on the SharePoint homepage that you might want to know about. So I'm going to click to get back to my SharePoint homepage. I'm just going to click the word SharePoint in this top left-hand corner. And you'll see, here we go. Here we are back at the homepage. So what if Mario and Chris do not already have a Source America folder on SharePoint? How would they make one? Well, they would do that by navigating to the top left-hand corner, and where it says create site, they would click on that. They have two options available to them. One is creating a team site, and one is creating a communication site. For all intents and purposes, we will all be creating team sites. Okay, communication sites are something that only probably a fair few of us would find useful. It's more of a, I think, a news feed post type of site. We will all be creating team sites. And the moment you create one, you can then upload or bring mini files from your computer and upload them into your new folder, and then share your folder with as many people are on your team. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Okay. Yes, I'm sure I want to close the panel. So now one of the things that I find is going to make your life a heck of a lot easier is to understand. Well, let me say this first. I'm not sure how many of you have been told what the difference between OneDrive is and SharePoint is. So let me just cover that right now. I've just hit the waffle, and you can see I have access to something called OneDrive and something called SharePoint. They are both locations where we can store a lot of files and a lot of data. So, and how does Bayad want us to use them? Question. Well, they want us to use both of them. They want us to use OneDrive to store our personal, confidential, and draft files, things that aren't yet ready to be published or shared with your whole team. Go ahead and put that on SharePoint. Things that belong or should be accessible by your entire team should be kept on SharePoint. I will tell you one thing about OneDrive that might make your decision easier. OneDrive is connected up to personal email accounts. So if someone were to quit tomorrow and their email account became inactive, probably within 6 to 12 days of them quitting, all of their items stored on OneDrive would disappear. It would go away. So that should help you decide how to determine what things go where. If it's on OneDrive and it would be detrimental if it was deleted, then it should not be on OneDrive. It should be on SharePoint. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to share something else, people online, so you can see the next little bit of the lesson. Hold on. Let me find my File Explorer. Share. Okay. So if you guys recall, let's go ahead and get to some place that's not as busy. You guys now online should be seeing my my files. This is called the File Explorer. This is the little file icon that you click in the bottom menu of your computer. If you guys remember, your whole lives, all of ShareDrive used to live here in the left-hand side of your File Explorer, right? You could double click into the ShareDrive, double click into Bayad Share, double click into your folder, and attach, upload, download documents from there and to there. Well, when we transfer to SharePoint, none of our files existed on our Files Explorer any longer, which made things extremely confusing and very inefficient. So I'm going to now show you a way to make it so that your File Explorer has all the files that live in your SharePoint and OneDrive linked, so that when you want to send an email to someone and attach something, you simply have to double click into this bookmark right here to your SharePoint files. Okay, this is probably the most important part of this class, so do follow along. Some of you may have done the first step of this without even realizing, So it won't look the same for everyone. I can't promise that I'll be able to help you fix it if it doesn't work, but I will certainly show it to you and encourage all of you to do this because I'm not even sure how I would be functioning right now if I didn't have this. So listen up. Okay, I have to stop sharing and share my internet again. So hold on, people online. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go to my OneDrive. And if you guys haven't done this before, it might be fun to see everything you have in there. Typically, people are surprised that there are things in their OneDrive and they didn't do it knowingly. But I have a lot of stuff in my OneDrive, some knowingly, some unknowingly. So the first step to being able to ultimately see all of your SharePoint files within your what's called File Explorer is number one, navigate to your OneDrive. Remember, all of these steps are on the tip sheet, so please follow those along. If you get a little lost, it's here. Okay. So now we're in OneDrive, and everyone will have this button that says Sync. My mouse is currently circling it. It's between Upload and Automate. Click the Sync button. Okay. Good. You've just clicked the sync button and a window's probably going to pop up and it's probably going to say, whoops, you've already synced, or it's going to say syncing or something like that. So that's just the first step. Now, what that is going to accomplish is, let me show you, stop share, share screen. Not that, hold on, this. What hitting that sync button will accomplish is it will create within your File Explorer, I hope everyone's with me, it will create this little OneDrive dropdown. Okay. So now, because you hit sync, you should have that. You will also have in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, next to where the time is and the thing that says your internet connection and where your volume is, there should also be a blue cloud. That blue cloud means that you are synced and everything that goes on your computer lives on the internet too. Okay. If that blue cloud has a red slash through it, it means you're not connected to the internet and you should not feel confident or comfortable editing documents without finding out how to get connected to the internet. So that's the first step, but we still haven't figured out how to get our SharePoint files to show up. So let me show you the second step, okay? I'm gonna hit stop share, share screen, internet. Okay, so everyone has clicked the sync button in their OneDrive. Now, the final step that you need to do is navigate to your SharePoint again. And you need to click into each folder that you want to do this with. My most important folder is this Voc Rehab folder. It's my bread and butter. I need to be able to download or upload things from that all of the time. So navigate into the folder that means the most to you. You won't see the button in the regular home page, but what you'll need to do is hit the See All button that's right next to Documents. It has to be the See All right next to Documents. It's where my mouse is currently circling. You'll see it in the middle of my page on the right-hand side. You should see me circling the word See All. You click that. And you will see a button that says Add Shortcut to OneDrive. Okay, there's a button in between Sync and Export to Excel, and it says Add Shortcut to OneDrive. Once you click that, the folder that you're in will have a shortcut connected to your OneDrive and then will be visible in your File Explorer. You need to do this for every folder you care about. So let me stop sharing again and share with you my File Explorer for what it might be the last time, but you can never tell in my classes. I throw us for loops all the time. So here you can see, everyone walk with me real quick. So I hit sync, that's how I got this OneDrive dropdown, okay? Then I went into each folder on Share Drive and I clicked Add Shortcut to OneDrive. So now I have a shortcut to all staff access. I have a shortcut to bad programs and managers, leadership team, and vocational rehab. So when I want to upload something to Elmo, this is great, you guys, keep watching. When I want to upload something to Elmo, all you have to do is open up your file explorer. And you should go in and then you just keep double clicking until you get to the file that you want to upload to Elmo. It's great because if you've been working on SharePoint only online, you'll know that it's inefficient. You have to download, to upload, blah, 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 and things get really messy. So this right here is probably the most important thing you can do for yourself today. And it's the most important thing you can continue to teach everyone else. If people don't have this on their file explorer, then they are going about things in a very inefficient manner. And you should definitely help them out or send them this tip sheet, okay? So the last piece of this class is how to send attachments. And by and large, the easiest way is to do what I just taught you. And then all you have to do is hit reply on the email, hit that paperclip button, browse your computer, and voila, you have got all your files and you can just attach like you always did. Okay. Now, if for some reason that is not your cup of tea and you want to know other ways to attach things, then stick around. I'm going to stop sharing and get my internet back up. So like I just said, the best way to attach things is by and large to just do the sync and make shortcuts to your OneDrive so that you can do it just the normal way. You don't have to learn anything else. Now, another way, should you want to, is to just email someone the URL of the document that you want to share. So let's say I just double clicked on that Word document that we all just created a second ago called test. Let's say I really want to share this with you guys. I want to send it in an email. Well, another way I could do that is by copying this URL up here, control copy, navigating on over to my email. And this example is always the longest to show because the internet is so slow. So hold on. Navigating to your email. Hello, Jessica. It's all in there. All the goods are in there. Okay, sorry. Okay, so it's real slow, but stick with me. Hopefully I'm not putting you to sleep. I just really want to show you this. New message. It'll happen. Sorry. It's taking a second. So here we go. We're at that point where all I have to do is Control V into the body of the email. There it is. Now, you'll notice that the link is purple. Purple is not good. This will not send well. If you want this to send, you have got to click on the purple link. Watch me as I do. Hold on. It's loading. Hold on. Click on the purple link. Okay, here we go. Okay, the link will turn into the name of the document. Now, you wanna hit manage access. Okay, at this moment in time, the settings on this link is set to people who already have access can view or edit, which is like practically no one. So in order to change that, you have to hit manage access. You will then have a drop down of number of options. Choose the one that makes the most sense for you, and then you'll be set. I don't recommend that you do this for people outside of Bayod. And the reason being is because I've seen some people receive emails with attachments that have been sent this way, and they have to verify their identity or they have to have a Bayod. It doesn't work as well for people outside of Bayod. So I do recommend, if you're going to send things this way, to only send it to our colleagues and then also make sure they can see it. Because I have sent a few attachments this way before I did that shortcut and sync piece. And people didn't see my attachment and then replied to me asking for it, even though it was here. Mario, are you asleep?
No.
Okay. It's like he's sleeping. Okay, so that's that second way to send an email. The third way is, I'm going to navigate back to this document. A third way is by hitting the share button, and that exists in every document that you will now be making online, and every document they're editing using the desktop app. When you click that share button, you will be prompted to enter in someone's email address. And just know that when you send that email via the share button, it doesn't look the same as a regular email. It will, I think the subject says something to the effect of, Sue Richardson shared a document with you. That's the subject. And then the actual body of the email looks like a box with some pictures you can't download and a big blue button that says open now. So keep that in mind. If you don't want your email to look like that, then this is probably not the feature for you. But if you're just sending it to, if I'm just sending something to Margaret to quickly edit and she knows it's coming, yeah, sure, I'll use the share button to send it to her. But you might not want to do that to outside vendors or partners because it just doesn't look as professional. And then finally, the third option, or excuse me, the fourth option is to simply download the document that you would like to attach in an email or upload to Elmo, and then upload it by browsing your files and double clicking it, things like that. I hope you wouldn't have to do that because you guys would all sync your OneDrives to your computer and add shortcuts to your OneDrive. Okay. Thank you, guys. Any questions?
Can you hear me, Jasmine?
Can't hear you.
Well, okay.
Okay. Yes, again, it's a beautiful soapbox that I get on, but do sync your OneDrives and do add shortcuts, because I do think that at this point, I'm not really using the internet so much to use SharePoint. And that's because I have all my files synced to my file explorer. And so I really don't have to get on SharePoint on the internet. I just don't have to. So I don't keep that tab open anymore. And if you guys do that, you won't have to either, unless you really like it, then go for it. Okay. I hope this was helpful, everyone. And have a great rest of your day. Yay. Yay, stop recording, yes.